네.
It is time for gender reckoning, beginning with men authentically confronting our internal selves and each other through the toxicity within us. Against the backdrop of Black Lives Matter protests, cries for racial reckoning have echoed throughout the world. At times seem premature and largely misunderstood. I believe a true gender reckoning must be the center of any transformative movement for social justice and equity. But what is a reckoning? Dictionaries say it means to resolve a bill or a debt. In other words, to settle an account. In the case of women and girls, what is debt owed to them? Who's to pay it? And how? Today, in the United States and abroad, threats to reproductive justice endanger the lives and hard-fought rights of women in regards to their bodily, sexual, and gender autonomy. And violence against women still represents an existential challenge as we've seen domestic violence rise in pandemic as people were confined to their homes. We've seen online and public harassment flourish. The sexual trafficking, prostitution, exploitation of women and girls thrives as ever before. From where does this toxicity come and why? Men are not endangered. We are not under assault. We are not being maligned. In fact, it's men or certain types of masculinity that are the issue. To be clear, being a man does not make me or anyone else who identifies as a man inherently toxic. But masculinity, in certain forms, can harm women, girls, non-binary people, and men through violence, dominating power and control. So, how do we address this? How can we men step up and better support our daughters, our sisters, our female partners, our colleagues, neighbors, and friends? Through one means can men both instigate and lead a gender reckoning. First, we must tell the truth. Men grow into this world becoming who we are expected to be or who we think we are expected to be based on cultural expectations and inaccurate historical narratives. I was repeatedly told I cried too much, I'm too emotional, too soft. It was ingrained in me that to prove my masculinity, I had to display physical prowess. The archetype of manhood nearly killed me. Secondly, we must be consistent. Men, especially men of color, cannot expect women to stand up for us, with us in the face of systemic operations, when too often we do not do the same for them. The Black Lives Matter movement, for example, founded, named, and led by queer women of color. How and where do men show up for women? I wonder. How many men stood with women on the steps of the Supreme Court as they fought for reproductive rights? How many men should have been there? Finally, there can be no reckoning without accountability. Men who commit acts of violence against women must be held accountable by formal systems of justice as well as other men. Silence in the face of misogynistic behavior and language is complicity. We men need to break free from the pack, take concrete action to stop violence, create safety, and build equity. And most importantly, say something. Too many of us, too many men, don't understand that equity, justice, inclusivity, safety for women, broken masculinity harms societies. Full stop. When we men reckon with the truth, we will finally find our shared humanity. Women, girls, non-binary people, men, Standing together on equal footing with mutual respect in safe environment is the greatest gender reckoning we can create. Thank you.